Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Women miss more signs than a GPS on a back road when it comes to knowing if a man really likes them. You're out here waiting for a big confession, a love letter, or some dramatic gesture out of a movie. But the truth is, men don't always come wrapped in grand displays of emotion. Most of the time, their affection hides behind subtle moves, actions you're overlooking because you're expecting it to look a certain way. When a man truly likes you, his consistency becomes his loudest language. See, ladies, some of y'all are out here looking for the fireworks, the grand gestures, the big words. But let me tell you something real. A man's consistency is louder than his compliments. Compliments can be practiced. They can be rehearsed. They can be copied from a movie or even borrowed from something he saw on social media. But consistency, that's where his true intentions live. You can't fake showing up over and over again. You can't fake steady energy, constant effort, and genuine presence. When a man's feelings are real, you'll notice he doesn't just appear when it's convenient. He's there even when it's uncomfortable. See, a lot of women get fooled by what a man says, but a wise woman learns to study what a man does. When he likes you, he'll call when he says he will. He'll check on you not because he's bored, but because you've become a part of his thought pattern. You'll start to notice a rhythm. His consistency will feel like clockwork. It might not be loud, but it's reliable. He'll text you good morning, not just on Monday, but every day because he genuinely wants to connect. He'll make plans in advance, not hit you with that, "What you doing tonight?" message. Why? Because when a man values you, he plans for you. Now, here's what a lot of women miss. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. Sometimes life will hit that man with challenges, but even when he's busy or tired, you'll see effort. He may not have an hour to talk, but he'll send a message saying, "I've been thinking about you." That's consistency. That's him saying, "You matter," even in the small ways. See, when a man's heart is in it, his actions stay aligned with his words. It's not about how much he does. It's about how steady he is in doing it. A man's consistency also tells you something deeper. It tells you where his mind is. Men are strategic with their energy. They don't keep watering a garden they don't see blooming. So if he keeps showing up, if he keeps investing time, if he keeps wanting to know more about your world, you've got his attention on a different level. That's not game, that's interest with purpose. Men don't waste consistency on women they don't see a future with. But let me drop something else on you. Consistency builds trust. You start to relax around him because his actions form a pattern of reliability. You no longer have to wonder, is he going to call, or will he flake again? Because he's proven his word means something. That's when you start to see the real power of a man's consistency. It's not flashy, but it's steady. It's not emotional fireworks, but it's peace. A man who's consistent is telling you, "I'm here. I'm serious. I see you." So when you're trying to figure out if a man likes you, Don't get distracted by what he says in the moment. Watch what he keeps doing over time, because love doesn't have to announce itself every day. Real interest just keeps showing up until you finally notice it was there all along. When a man likes you, he's going to find excuses to be around you. That's just how it goes. See, men are not complicated. They're strategic. They don't waste time where they don't feel something real. So when he keeps showing up in your space, popping up in your day, or suddenly having reasons to talk to you, that's not coincidence. That's effort. A man who's interested will create reasons to be near you, even if he has to disguise it as something casual. Oh, I was just in the area, he'll say, but deep down, he knows exactly why he's there. It's because you're there. When a man likes you, he becomes intentional about crossing paths with you, even if it means stepping out of his way. You might notice it in the smallest ways. He'll volunteer to help you with something he normally wouldn't care about. Maybe you mention you need to move a piece of furniture or run an errand, and suddenly he's offering to help, not because he's got nothing better to do, but because he's looking for time to connect, to learn you, to see how you move. Men like to study what they care about. And when he's trying to be around you, he's studying your energy, your reactions, the way you laugh, the way you speak. You've captured his curiosity, and that curiosity becomes his motivation. Men show up differently when their heart is involved. They'll go out of their comfort zone just to be near you. The man who never liked shopping suddenly finds himself walking through a store with you. The man who said he's too busy for long calls somehow finds an extra 15 minutes just to hear your voice. That's not random. That's him rearranging his priorities to make room for you. A man's time is the most honest currency he can give, so when he spends it on you without being asked, that's your sign right there. And here's the thing, most men won't admit this, but when they like someone, they get nervous. They'll play it cool, but inside their minds racing, they're thinking, how can I see her again? What reason can I come up with that doesn't make it too obvious? So they manufacture these little coincidences. He runs into you at your favorite coffee spot. He happens to be online when you are. He accidentally texts you about something random just to start a conversation. But make no mistake, there's intention behind all of it. Sometimes you'll feel his energy before you realize what's happening. You'll start to notice he's always around when you need something, or he's the first one to notice when something's off with you. He's not doing that for everyone. He's doing it for you because you've got his attention. Men protect their energy, and they don't just give it away. If he's showing up, if he's checking in, if he's finding reasons to be near you, that's his heart trying to say something his mouth hasn't said yet. So when you see a man making consistent effort to be around you, don't dismiss it. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's attraction with direction. Because when a man likes you, he doesn't always tell you right away, Sometimes he just keeps showing up, hoping you'll finally see what he's been saying all along without saying a word. A man's body language will always tell the truth his mouth might be too scared to say. When a man likes you, his entire presence changes around you, even if he tries to hide it. You'll see it in the small things, the way he leans toward you when you talk, how his eyes stay on you just a little longer than normal, how his voice softens when you enter the room. Those aren't random actions. That's attraction leaking through his body, showing you what his pride or nerves might be holding back. See, a man's body can't fake connection. Words can lie, but energy can't. His posture, his attention, his gestures, they'll all start working together to show you that you mean something to him. When a man likes you, he pays attention without even realizing it. His body naturally turns toward you in a group setting. He faces you fully when you speak, giving you his undivided focus. He might fidget a little, adjust his shirt, or touch his beard. That's not nervous habit, that's unconscious grooming. It's his way of trying to look his best without even knowing he's doing it. His instinct is to impress you, to make you feel like he's someone worth your time. And when a man's body leans in closer, that's him inviting connection, showing comfort, showing that you've broken through the walls he usually keeps up. Now, his eyes, that's where you'll really see it. When a man's interested, his eyes tell on him every single time. He'll watch you when you're not looking. He'll notice things others don't. The way you tuck your hair, how you smile, how you react to certain topics. His gaze will linger, not in a lustful way, but in a curious and caring way. That's a man silently saying, I see you, without ever having to open his mouth. And if you catch him looking and he quickly looks away, that's another clue. Because even the most confident men get shy when feelings start forming. You'll also notice it in the way he positions himself around you. He might subtly find reasons to be closer, sit next to you instead of across, or stand where you can easily talk. These are instinctive moves. A man who likes you wants proximity. He wants to feel your energy. Sometimes he'll even mirror your movements without realizing it. If you cross your legs, he'll do it too. If you laugh, he'll laugh with you. That's a subconscious signal that he's emotionally sensing with your energy. Even his touch changes meaning. When he touches your shoulder, gives a playful high five, or brushes your hand lightly, he's testing comfort. He's saying, is this space safe for me to be close? If you respond warmly, he'll relax. If you pull back, he'll retreat. That's his way of protecting himself emotionally while still showing interest physically. So, if you really want to know if a man likes you, stop waiting for him to say it and start watching how he moves around you. His body will reveal every secret his words are too scared to express. Because love doesn't always speak. Sometimes it just shows up in a lean, a look, a laugh, and a silence that feels like home. When a man likes you, he remembers the little things you thought didn't matter. That's one of the clearest, most overlooked signs of genuine interest. See, Men are not naturally wired to retain every detail about everyone they meet. But when a woman captures a man's heart, his mind starts recording everything connected to her. He'll remember what flavor of coffee you like, the story you told him about your grandmother, the kind of music that makes you relax after a long day. He stores those little pieces of you because they've become valuable to him. That's not just memory, that's emotional investment. When a man remembers the small things, it means he's paying attention, and when he's paying attention, it means you've already found a space in his mind he doesn't want to lose. You'll notice it in the most unexpected ways. You might casually mention your favorite snack once, and weeks later, he brings it without you ever reminding him. Or maybe you told him about a rough week you had at work, and the next time he talks to you, he asks, "How did that situation turn out?" That's not random, that's care. That's a man who is listening, not just hearing. Because when a man is genuinely interested, he doesn't listen to respond, he listens to remember. He keeps those details because they help him understand you better. And understanding you better means he can connect with you deeper. Most women think a man's attention has to come with big romantic gestures, but in truth, it's the subtle ones that tell you everything. He notices when you change your hairstyle or wear a new perfume. He remembers the name of your pet or the fact that you can't stand cold weather. That level of awareness isn't casual, it's personal. A man who doesn't care won't remember the details that don't serve him, but a man who likes you wants to hold on to the things that make you who you are. Those small things become his favorite reminders of you, the quiet proof of how much space you've taken up in his thoughts. When a man starts repeating your own words back to you, things you said in passing, that's another clear sign. Maybe you once said, "I've always wanted to try hiking," and a month later, he brings up a trail nearby and says, "Didn't you say you wanted to go hiking?" That's not coincidence. That's intention. That's a man showing you he values what comes out of your mouth. It means your words don't just float away, they stay with him. He remembers because he wants to show you that you matter. And it's not just about impressing you. Men don't remember details just to get points. They remember because it's their way of connecting emotionally without needing fancy words. Each detail is like a thread, and the more he collects, the stronger that invisible bond becomes. So when a man starts remembering the small things that everyone else overlooks, understand this: you're not just someone he talks to. You're someone who's already carved a quiet, meaningful place in his heart. When a man likes you, he doesn't just talk about his dreams. He starts including you in them, even if it's in subtle ways. That's one of the most powerful signs that you've moved from being just someone he likes to someone he envisions in his future. Most men guard their dreams carefully. They don't open up about their goals, plans, and fears to just anyone because that kind of vulnerability is sacred. But when he starts letting you in, when he begins to share the things that drive him, the things that scare him, and the future he hopes to build. That means you've become more than just company. You've become his safe space. You've entered the part of his world that not everyone gets to see. A man who talks about his dreams in your presence isn't just trying to impress you. He's testing emotional compatibility. He's trying to see how you react to his ambition, how you respond to his vision. When he says, "I've always wanted to start a business," or "one day I'm going to move to a bigger city," and he looks at you while saying it, that's not small talk. That's his way of saying, "Can you see yourself with a man like me?" He's seeing if your energy matches his drive. Men don't like to dream out loud unless they feel emotionally secure. So when he's comfortable enough to share his hopes and failures, you've already touched a deeper layer of his heart. Pay attention to how he talks about the future. When he starts saying, "well," instead of that shift is not accidental. That's his subconscious revealing his desire for you to be part of his world long term. You'll hear it in casual moments. "We should go there sometime," or "if I ever buy that house, you'd love the view." Those words carry more meaning than most women realize. That's a man planting seeds, painting pictures of tomorrow with you in them. He's not saying it to flatter you. He's saying it because in his mind, you already fit into his plans. And the more you encourage him to talk about his dreams, the more he'll open up. When you listen without judgment, when you support his ideas instead of shooting them down, you become his peace. You become that person who makes his world feel possible. Men are not always verbal about their emotions, but when a man starts letting you in on his dreams, he's handing you a piece of his soul. He's saying, "This is who I am when nobody's watching." That's not something you can fake. He'll start imagining little things with you, traveling together, building something together, maybe even starting a family someday, and you'll notice he gets this spark in his eyes when he talks about it, a kind of excitement that comes from hope mixed with connection. Because deep down, he's not just dreaming for himself anymore, he's dreaming with you in mind. So when a man shares his dreams and includes you in them, believe me, that's not random conversation. That's love in its most honest, unspoken form. When a man truly likes you, one of the most powerful signs is how he quietly protects your peace, even when he doesn't get credit for it. See, real men express affection not just through words, but through action, especially protective ones. He's not trying to control you. He's not trying to dominate. He's trying to make sure your world feels safer with him in it. A man's natural instinct when he cares about someone is to shield her from chaos, confusion, and unnecessary pain. It's in his nature to create calm where there could be conflict, to be the steady presence that keeps you grounded when life starts to shake. When he likes you, his goal is simple. He wants to be a source of peace, not another reason you lose it. You'll notice it in small but consistent ways. He doesn't like seeing you stressed, so he'll do little things to make your day easier. He'll remind you to eat when you're too busy, or he'll handle something minor just so you don't have to. He's paying attention to your emotional temperature. When you've had a rough day, he doesn't pressure you to talk before you're ready. He gives you space, but he stays close enough so you know you're not alone. That's not indifference. That's care in its most mature form. A man who likes you protects your peace by adjusting his actions, not demanding your attention. He'll also step in when he feels someone's trying to take advantage of your kindness. Maybe it's a coworker crossing boundaries or a friend who drains your energy. He notices, and he subtly helps you set limits. He doesn't make a big show of it because he's not doing it for recognition. He just doesn't want to see you hurt. That's a man's protective instinct working silently behind the scenes. He's the kind who looks out for you when you're not watching, the kind who makes sure your name is respected even when you're not in the room. And that's a level of care that can't be faked. Even when you argue, a man who genuinely likes you won't try to destroy your peace. He won't hit below the belt or say things just to win. He'll pause, take a breath, and try to understand where you're coming from. Because to him, preserving the connection matters more than proving a point. That's love dressed as patience. That's protection without armor. And you know what's powerful? He does all this without needing validation. He doesn't need you to notice every time he chooses kindness over pride or restraint over reaction. He's not looking for applause. He's doing it because he values you. That's the quiet kind of love, the one that doesn't need to announce itself, but you can feel it in how peaceful your spirit feels when he's around. So when you meet a man who brings calm instead of confusion, who protects your heart without putting you in a cage, understand that's not just interest, that's genuine care. Because when a man really likes you, his love won't always roar. Sometimes it'll whisper through the peace he fights to keep around you.